Hey everyone, welcome back. Now for today's video, going to be doing a bit of a project series. Now there's quite a few that I've had in the works for quite some time that been on and off, but this is more of a small project that I've been thinking about working on for quite a while now, and figured might as well get stuff together while I still can. And plus, with the weather getting colder out, it's a little bit more challenging to get stuff fully worked together. So, with that being said, the kits in question that I'm looking to combine with each other actually is going to be a mix between this AMT Cruisin USA series 49 Mercury Coupe. This I've had for some time now, which actually used to be a fully sealed kit until I decided to open it, as I was curious to know what the decals were and pretty much get to know more about this kit. So there's that, and then another fairly basic kit that's been seen a little bit here and there is this 49 Mercury police patrol car, which is an MPC snap tight kit, which gives you pretty much basic features and easy easy apply decals. So it's pretty much we're going with that. And my plan actually between the two is that looking at building this car here up as just a basic 49 Mercury Coupe, and then taking this Cruisin USA car and taking the police parts actually and putting them onto this car, and then this car here, or this kit, I believe comes with the choice of two extra engines, which I'll go through both these kits actually here fairly soon. So that's the plan with these. So get everything sorted out and take a quick look at both. So getting into the patrol car, start off with the body. Got stuff like the body, one-piece windshield and surround, and a couple chrome parts and multicolor molded parts, along with it the instructions and the decals. But bringing everything back for a second, let's get everything out of the bag. So for this kit, as you can clearly tell, that it's more oriented to be a very basic kit. The holes on the top will probably have to get filled in since I'm looking at building a stock car at this point. Got a good amount of raised detail edges to detail up and stuff. Overall, it's pretty good. Then have here the windshield and back glass. And underneath here we have the siren dome lights, which is quite nice to have. And we got, sticking with the color molded parts, we got some of the beige pieces here, which is more like a camel tan. So it's nothing too crazy. Like, got the molded in door panels, rear seat, foot pedals. So not too much to it. Then got the front bench seat, steering wheel, and dash pad with good amount of raised detail actually. So there's still a lot of room to detail everything up on this kit. But of course, it's nothing too crazy. Then stepping a bit back into the black molded parts, got the chassis pan itself, which is all molded as one, with the floorboards and frame lower half of the engine and driveline. And surprising part about it is that the suspension actually isn't molded in, which you'd initially think it would be. But those are separate parts, which I'll get to here in a quick second. Then got some what looks to be body pins, perhaps. A couple other accessories here and there. So nothing too much. And then finally for the tires, actually, they're they're plastic molded, which will just end up snapping onto the axles. Not exactly the best choice for wheel and tire package, but for the plans for these will do just fine. And then for the then finally for the chrome parts, got quite a few accessories actually, as do have the baby moon hubcaps, front and rear bumper, spotlights, and exhaust system. And right here's where we have the A-arm suspension being molded in a separate piece, plus being chromed out. Though we'll see about that. We'll see how it ends up going. Might leave it chrome, may end up painting it up separately. Then got the antenna, the whip antenna. Then right here we got the housing for the sirens, and a couple other parts here and there. So overall, it's not. There's quite a decent amount of parts actually for such a simple kit. Then got the decals here, which pretty much would just go over top of the body. Nothing too crazy on here, aside from the police insignia. So there's that. And then of course finally got the instructions, which is your triple fold going into just a double fold. Just very simple illustrations to get everything together. Now, one thing I did notice is that it says it's a 1950 car, but not entirely sure what year the kit's supposed to depict, but I'm guessing 49 would be the most accurate, I believe. So there's pretty much a quick look at this kit. Some stuff will get built up here and there, but get this cleaned off for now and take a look at the other kits. So getting everything all here ready, I also went ahead to open up all the bags, just save some time a bit on the video. So got the body here, which is already noticeably different, being just the basic body, and surprisingly enough, that it's also got a cut open trunk, so that could probably have some accessories in the back, and then of course having the front hood open, then the lower fascia, and similarly like with the other previous kit, still got a good amount of raised detail and customization options. So put that to the side for now. Then we got the chassis, which is similar to One Piece, but it's got the lower body half and then the frame. But all these suspension components are going to have to get built up. So there's that. So quite a lot of potential with this, either if you wanted to build the car at a stock height or have it sitting way down in the weeds. So that'll be nice. And of course here this is the trunk pan actually for the interior being a checkerboard inlay, which I believe would be like a mesh fabric or something. There's quite a bit to it, and then guessing too is that this front panel here would actually be the rear panel, just to divide the passengers from the cargo area. So then going on to the interior, do have the interior tub, which does look fairly similar, having the molded in panels and rear seat. So the one thing I have noticed is that it's a much the front half of it is much shallower. So there's a bit more room to work with to detail the inside panels. So that's pretty good. Then plus two, you got the bench seat. So pretty nice touch. And then the parts here are an interesting molded color. How they're like a kind of like, they're not quite like a dark red, but closer to a darkish, a medium purple perhaps, but even more close to red. But yeah, so interesting color. Nice rise details for the dashboard and panel. Then a couple more loose parts here. We have the radiator support with the radiator itself. Then some other stuff here, which I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but might be like a trophy stand or something like that. Then we have a coolant line, and for the intake, going down to the water pump pulley, or to the water pump, I should probably say. So there's that piece. And going with some more parts here, we got what might look like, what I'm guessing might be an extra part for a different car. Or actually, no, thinking about it now, this might actually be the engine stand, which I do believe this kit does have the two engines. So, you got here the seat backs, rear axle, dual exhaust, couple body panels here and there. So there's all that. Then we also have the optional bucket seats, actually. So we have, so you have the tab molding, which would locate here. So I guess in a way, if you wanted to have rotating captain's chairs, you can do just that. Then your wheel backings, steering wheel, upgraded exhaust, lower or the suspension half, the axle half with the suspension molded in. It's got some, so far it's looking like there's some really good parts to this. And then a couple more odds and ends, like here you have the larger engine, which I believe is the 426 Max Wedge engine. And then got the custom center console for if you're to use the bucket seats. Don't think these would work out really well if you were to use the bench seat, but you could try. Then we also have a center display TV, which is an interesting feature to have. And a couple more smaller parts here and there, which look like, they pretty much build up to become a flathead V8. So there's that. And a couple other accessories here that I'm seeing is that you got a car phone with a tape recorder, which is a cool accessory to have. So pretty much quite a few ways to go about building the car. So quite looking forward to it. Then we got the more body panels, a little bit of quite a lot of flashing actually on the hood itself actually. So there's quite a bit around the edges, so that'll have to get cleaned up. Got the separate molded trunk lid, intake or the engine heads, exhaust, and engine halves. So yeah, quite a nice variety of parts and accessories. So then going on to one of the more final molded, well, some of the more molded parts is that we got the chrome tree here, which gives you an option between various different grill types to choose from. The front and rear bumpers, whether if you want to use those or not, or use the roll pans on either side. Got the suspension cross member, which actually looking might actually be very similar to the other kit, which I'll get the kit out, see if can do a quick comparison. Okay, so got the other parts here. So got the suspension cross member here. Then looking at the parts, they look very similar, but looking here, they're very different. As these have they're pretty much extended over to where the spindles would line up to, whereas this would just look like it's connected to the spindles, but it's just sitting there. So otherwise, otherwise very similar, but both completely different parts and different bumpers. The police car not having the bumperettes, whereas this kit here does. So there's a few things in between that are different, but just pretty much just getting a feel for everything. Got quite a few other interesting accessories here, as what looks like there's actually a separate piston, which might be which might be for like a trophy display or part of an engine. So it's quite the parts to it. And then of course finally got the windshield piece, which just molded as one with the separate headlights and or headlight choices. Much that, and then got just the one set of wheels and tires, which do feel quite plastic-like. So I may end up just I do have a feeling I may end up using a different set of wheels and tires I have for this build. But yeah, so that's pretty much though what you'd get. And actually, one of the cool and unique parts about it is that it comes with a different kind of decal or sticker and decal choice. Like we have like this sheet here of the prismatic effect, which I believe is just a peel back sticker that you just simply adjust and align with the body. It'll be interesting to see how this goes, though. Looking at it, it would actually it'd be kind of cool to use these for another project. Not sure what at the moment, but it does have quite the vibe to it. And then of course, here's the main decals to it, which are apparently rub down transfers. Which actually, looking at the instructions here quickly, they do say about how to use it. So there is quite a bit of a way to have to do it. So there's quite the process on going about doing it. And then for the prismatic effect, the instructions are nice enough to give out a template diagram so that can cut out each section accordingly. So that's quite a nice touch. Of course. Yeah. And then the decal sheet itself is pretty much just an 8.5 by 11 double folded paper. Nothing too crazy, just basic instructions to put everything together. Pretty much feels like your average AMT instruction manual you'd get nowadays. Though the nice part is you also get numbered parts, even though the parts aren't exactly numbered on the tree. So yeah, so there's quite a lot to it actually. So yeah, and by the looks of it here, I'm looking at some of these stuff that has the X through it. I'm thinking those might actually be parts that aren't used for this specific build. But I might actually, yeah, may look through it. But of course, you can pretty much just build the kit however you want. So yeah, so that's a bit of a different look to it. So yeah. So with that all being said and going through this, I believe this will be it for this video. Hopefully I should be able to keep everyone updated as progress continues. And I have been looking at, I of course have another couple other videos planned for the next coming days, hopefully. So just just getting all that stuff together will be good. So that being said, this will pretty much do it for this video. And till next time, see you later.